Throughout the years, numerous players have faced significant hatred from football fans. However, only a few can claim the title of being universally despised. In fact, not even all the players on this list can boast such widespread animosity. This list is not about the sheer number of people hating these players, but rather the intensity of football fans' disdain for them. Some players have earned this hatred by making ill-advised moves to rival clubs, while others have become infamous for their unsportsmanlike style of play. Additionally, some players' off-pitch antics have contributed to their unpopularity, even though they possess talent on the field. Scoring a goal and hearing thousands of fans chanting your name is undoubtedly one of the best feelings in football. However, for certain footballers, the more common experience is facing abuse from the crowd. Here we present some of the most hated players ever. With the game's development, it has become easier for people to express their hatred towards players, a phenomenon evident in this list. So without further ado, let's dive into the top 10 most hated players in world football. Zlatan Ibrahimović. For his journey in Italian football has been a roller coaster of controversy. One major source of hate stems from the fact that he's played for both AC Milan and Inter Milan, with a stint at Juventus before that. Just hasn't sat well with fans on either side. Adding to the mix, Ibrahimović has a notorious reputation for his on-field antics. He's made headlines for kicking fellow players during training sessions, and it's worth noting that he holds a Taekwondo black belt, which only intensifies the unease around his behavior. With such a polarizing character, it's no wonder why Zlatan Ibrahimović has become one of the most hated players in the world of football, particularly in Italy. Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is undeniably one of the finest strikers of his time, but he's also one of the most disliked players in the game. His biting incidents, not just once or twice, but 3 times led to a whopping 26-game ban for sinking his teeth into fellow players. However, these biting episodes are not the only controversies in his career. During his Liverpool days, Suarez was found guilty of racially insulting Manchester United's left back, Patrice Evra. On top of that, he has a reputation for diving, but credit to him, he recovers quickly from injuries. In addition to his unending biting incidents, Suarez is hated because of his role in eliminating Ghana from the 2010 World Cup. The rest of the world might not exactly hate him for this, however, Ghana and the rest of Africa will perhaps never forgive him for keeping the ball out of the net with his hands. As much as the rest of the world does not seem happy with Suarez in Uruguay, he will always be a hero, and it really never gets better than this. Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos, if you're a Real Madrid fan, you adore him for being an excellent defender and a key part of numerous trophy wins. However, if you're not a Real Madrid fan, you might see him differently. With 26 red cards, Ramos holds the record for the most sent-offs in La Liga history, making him one of football's notorious bad boys. While Madrid supporters love his confidence, it rubs other fans the wrong way, especially Liverpool fans who have a strong grudge against him after he injured Mo Salah in the 2018 Champions League final. Well, like him or hate him, Ramos is perhaps one defender that other defenders wish they could be like. The man had guts and did not care who was hurt, he just wanted to win. One could say his approach was really dirty and selfish. Nonetheless, he stayed on top of his game for a long time, and this is one thing Madrid fans will never forget. Apart from the generally accepted fact that Ramos had very ugly moves, lots of football fans probably hate him because of how successful he helped Real Madrid get. Maybe they would have liked him more if he had been a little less successful. Diego Costa. Diego Costa once famously said he doesn't take his work home with him, which might be a good thing, considering he could end up pulling the kids' shirts and diving over the kitchen table. He's undoubtedly football's biggest wind-up merchant, relishing in getting under the skin of the opponents. Just ask Seamus Coleman, who experienced Costa's taunts after scoring an own goal against Chelsea in 2014. Or you could inquire about Gabriel Paletta, who was goaded into reacting and kicking out at Costa during a Chelsea vs Arsenal match. This guy seems to have a penchant for pushing boundaries, leading some to label him as someone who cheats a lot. As Kurt Zouma once remarked, and Zouma was even his own teammate. Costa might be famous for cheating. However, he's not just famous as a cheat, he's also famous as someone with a bad temper. And through his years as a professional footballer, he had a reputation for lashing out at other people on the pitch. No one was spared. If all Costa did was lash out at other professionals, one might assume that he was simply being passionate. Unfortunately, he did more. He went as far as stamping on other players. Although he had quite a time playing for Chelsea, he's not exactly remembered for his good. Paolo Di Canio. Paolo Di Canio was considered a loose cannon when Harry Redknapp wanted to sign him for West Ham, especially after he was banned for 11 games for pushing over a referee. Known for his fiery character and confrontational nature, Di Canio was also a bit of a sulker, as he once had to be substituted when Frank Lampard took a penalty instead of him. But perhaps the darkest reason many people dislike him is his open admission of being a fascist and admiring Italy's former dictator Benito Mussolini. He even celebrated a goal for Lazio with a Roman salute, a gesture associated with Italian fascists in the 1900s. Neymar. Neymar, undoubtedly one of the world's most talented footballers, has a significant number of haters too. It's not just about his on-field skills, it's also about his behavior on and off the pitch that gets him into trouble with fans. Known for his extravagant parties and lavish lifestyle, Neymar's off-field choices attract critics. On the field, he's gained notoriety for being a serial diver, spending what seems like half of his time rolling around on the floor after minor challenges. Furthermore, his move to PSG in 2017 was met with criticism, as many believed it was purely driven by money, even though Barcelona hasn't been performing remarkably well since he left. It's easy to think Neymar became a hated player when he got to Barcelona, but the fact is he did not become annoying at Barcelona. He was already an annoying player a long time before he joined Barcelona. His funny attitude caught people's attention when he had an issue with Dorival Jr. that led him to losing his job as Santos' manager. This was as far back as 2010. He was still a young player at the time, and it was not sure how well his career was going to turn out. It's already 13 years later, and Neymar has not changed one bit. If anything, he's gotten worse. Carlos Tevez. Carlos Tevez has never been far away from controversy. He first hit the headlines when he joined West Ham in 2006. His registration was held by Media Sports Investment, and West Ham faced a massive fine for breaching regulations over third-party ownership. But that wasn't really Tevez's fault, and he's not the only one responsible for other acts that turn people against him. Let's just say Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't best pleased when Tevez left Manchester United for Manchester City. Roberto Mancini also had problems with Tevez, who once refused to come on as a sub for Man City. The striker spent the next few months on the golf course in Argentina, while his teammates were trying to win the Premier League. Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole was once the best left back in the world, but that didn't automatically make England fans proud of him. Cole was probably the most hated footballer in the country at one point. It all started when he moved from Arsenal to Chelsea, earning him the infamous nickname Cashley Cole. He infamously said he almost crashed his car in shock when he was offered a contract by Arsenal worth only £60,000 a week. That didn't go down well with fans who earn less than that amount in a year. The left back also accidentally shot a work experience student with an air rifle at Chelsea's training ground. Unfortunately for the youngster, Cole's shot was on target. Emmanuel Adebayor. Emmanuel Adebayor used to be cheered by Arsenal fans, but when he moved to Manchester City, he turned from hero to zero. Arsenal supporters accused the striker of chasing money, and Adebayor made things much worse when he celebrated right in front of Arsenal fans after scoring for City. He fell out with countless managers, teammates, and opponents during his career. At Tottenham, he was banished to the reserves by Andre Villas-Boas. Adebayor didn't endear himself to Crystal Palace fans either when he joined the club in 2016. In his first press conference, he admitted he didn't know anything about Palace and would have to Google them. Sol Campbell. Now, unlike some of the names on this list, Sol Campbell isn't universally hated. However, Tottenham fans probably have enough contempt for him to make up for other clubs' indifference. Campbell came through Spurs Academy and went on to captain the first team. In 2001, he decided to leave Spurs when his contract expired, and shockingly, he joined the club's arch-rivals, Arsenal. It's still one of the most shocking transfers of all time. Campbell was labeled a Judas by Tottenham fans whenever he played against them. The abuse often crossed the line, and Campbell spoke out about some of the vile chants he had to endure. But did he regret joining Arsenal? 2 Premier League titles and 2 FA Cups suggest maybe not. Who else would you add to your list of hated players? Drop a comment below and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our content. Also hit the like and share buttons if you enjoyed this video. See you in our next video.